So hello friends, my name is Dr. Siddhi and I am a pathology resident. So here we are going to discuss a very good topic, that is myeloproliferative neoplasm. In that we will discuss about essential thrombocythemia. So what is myeloproliferative neoplasm? So basically it is a neoplasm of mature cells. If it is of white blood cells, then we can call it as chronic myeloproliferative leukemia. If it is of RBC, then we can call it as polycythemia vera. If it is of platelet, then essential thrombocythemia. So according to WHO, there are many categories divided into chronic myeloproliferative neoplasm, that is chronic myeloproliferative leukemia, chronic neutrophilic leukemia, then essential thrombocythemia, polycythemia vera, primitive myelofibrosis, pre-fibrotic stage and overt fibrotic stage. Then myeloproliferative neoplasm not otherwise specified. Then mastocytosis. Basically the myeloproliferative neoplasm, it is divided according to BCR-ABL fusion gene. If BCR-ABL fusion is positive, then it is chronic myeloproliferative leukemia, and if it is BCR-ABL negative, then there are other possibilities like in polycythemia vera, JAK2V617F mutation or JAK2 exon 12 mutation can be there. In essential thrombocythemia and primary myelofibrosis, JAK2 mutation, CALR mutation and MPL mutation can be there. So here we are going to discuss today, that is essential thrombocythemia. So what is essential thrombocythemia? So it is a marked megakaryocytic hyperplasia and thrombocytosis more than 450,000 per microliter. Marked megakaryocytic hyperplasia and thrombocytosis more than 450,000. Okay. So in this the production of the platelet is 2 to 12 times than the normal, and JAK2V valine 61F valine to phenylalanine, JAK2 valine to phenylalanine mutation, it is called as JAK2V617F mutation. It is seen in 50 to 60% of cases, and the TPO receptor MPL is abnormal in essential thrombocythemia. So this can transform into myelofibrosis with myeloid metaplasia or acute leukemia or any other thing. Then what is the scenario, clinical scenario? There will be thrombohemorrhagic picture because of the loss of PGD2 receptor, result in increased platelet coagulation activity. So platelet are there, platelet are increased in number also there, and they have increased coagulative activity also. So it will be result in thrombosis and storage pool defects in the platelet, promote bleeding tendency. Bleeding tendency will be higher. Most common age is 50 to 60 years of age group. Then in male and female both equally common. And then the patient will complain of painful burning sensation of the soles and toes. Painful burning sensation of the soles and toes. Pain gets aggravated on standing. Also on warming. That is called as erythromelalgia. Then at later stage of disease, acrocyanosis or gangrene may supervene, and aspirin intake results in dramatic improvement of the symptoms. Aspirin intake will result in dramatic improvement of the symptoms. Then intermittent ischemia is there because of platelet mediated fibromuscular proliferation of the arterial wall. So intermittent ischemia can be there, and splenomegaly, hepatomegaly, few cases can be complicated into Budd-Chiari syndrome also. So, and in thrombohemorrhagic manifestation, that can be portal venous thrombosis, retinal artery occlusions, myocardial infarction, rarely pulmonary embolism. In CNS, headache, vertigo, recurrent hemiparesis can be there. then hemorrhage in GIT tract, small bowel infection may cover, mucosal bleeding, gums, epistaxis can be there. So what are the WHO criteria? If we want to diagnose essential thrombocythemia, what is the WHO criteria? 2000 according to 2016 criteria, the major criteria is first, platelet greater than 4,50,000. The second, bone marrow biopsy showing proliferation mainly of megakaryocyte lineage with increased number of enlarged mature megakaryocyte with hyperlobulated nuclei. In bone marrow biopsy, what you will see? Proliferation of megakaryocyte and mainly increase in number with enlarged mature megakaryocyte and hyperlobulated nuclei. Then not meeting WHO criteria of polycythemia vera, chronic myeloproliferative leukemia, then primary myelofibrosis, myelodysplastic syndrome, any other criteria is not meeting. And the fourth one is presence of JAK2, CALR or MPL mutation. These four are major criteria. Platelet greater than 4,50,000, bone marrow biopsy showing megakaryocyte with increase in number with enlarged, mature, hyperlobulated nuclei. Then not meeting the other criteria other criteria of CML, MDS, polycythemia vera, then myelodysplastic syndrome. Okay. Then presence of JAK2 or CALR or MPL mutation. And the minor criteria is just presence of clonal marker or absence of evidence of reactive thrombocytosis. Reactive thrombocytosis should be not there. Okay. So if the diagnosis of essential thrombocytosis is required, or if all major criteria is positive or three major criteria and this one minor criteria, then we can diagnose this as essential thrombocythemia. Okay. So what are the hematological finding in this case? So in hematological finding, we will see the platelet greater than 4,50,000, and platelet display anisocytosis from tiny to giant size of platelet, then increase platelet aggregates in the smear, then the platelet, majority of platelets are granular. PTA PDT will be normal, but bleeding time is high and serum LDH is not raised. Okay. So in bone marrow biopsy, what we will see, we have seen that megakaryocyte increase in number with mature, large and abundant granular cytoplasm with hyperlobulated staghorn nuclei suggesting polyploidy or advanced maturation. So in molecular abnormalities of essential thrombocythemia, there can be JAK2. Either JAK2 or CALR mutant or MPL mutant. So what is the difference between a JAK2 mutant essential thrombocythemia and MPL mutant essential thrombocythemia? If JAK2 mutant, it will be seen in older patients, thrombosis rates are high and progress is worse. And in CALR, CALR mutation, it will be seen in younger patients, thrombosis rate is low and better prognosis of essential thrombocythemia. Okay, so if we are diagnosis this case, it will follow all the WHO criteria, all 4 major, all 3 major and 1 minor, and all causes of secondary thrombocytosis must be ruled out. Okay, what are the differential diagnosis? First is reactive thrombocytosis. So if patient having the reactive thrombocytosis because of any other infection, malignancy or any other causes, then it will have higher level of fibrinogen. Fibrinogen level is higher in that patient, then interleukin 6 and CRP level will be high. Interleukin 6, fibrinogen and CRP level will be high in reactive thrombocytosis patient. Then early cases of CML is also showing the thrombocytosis. So in that in CML, the BCR-ABL fusion gene positive, then in that the megakaryocyte are dwarf, while in essential thrombocythemia our megakaryocytes are giant in bone marrow biopsy. Okay, then pre-fibrotic phase of myelofibrosis, in early phase of myelofibrosis. So in this mainly pre-fibrotic phase of myelofibrosis and the essential thrombocytopenia, they are we have to differentiate between them, because in both cases platelet will be greater than 4,50,000. BM cellularity can be normocellular or mildly hypercellular. Anemia can be present in both, but in essential thrombocythemia, the megakaryocyte normal to giant cell size, hypersegmented nuclear, atypia will not be there, and heterotopia. So what is heterotopia? Topographical arrangement in the bone marrow biopsy, where should megakaryo, where we will find the normal megakaryocyte. So this topical arrangement of the platelet will be disturbed in the prefibrotic myelofibrosis, and heterotopia can be present. Atypia in the megakaryocyte can be present. The nuclei of the megakaryocyte is cloud-like and marked variation of size in prefibrotic myelofibrosis. Okay, and maturation defect will be present, where nuclei will be present. All this megakaryocytic dysplasia will be present in the prefibrotic stage of primary myelofibrosis. Then in myelofibrosis also granulocytic hyperplasia can be there. Erythroid series will be diminished. In essential thrombocytopenia, no change in erythroid and granulocytic series. Then serum LDH will be increased in myelofibrosis. Then leukocytosis, nucleated RBC, all these things will occur in prefibrotic stage of primary myelofibrosis. Prognosis is poor of primary myelofibrosis, where in essential thrombocythemia prognosis is very good. Okay, and we have to differentiate these two things. And lastly, we will discuss the causes of thrombocytosis. Primary causes of thrombocytosis is essential thrombocythemia, then chronic myeloproliferative leukemia, polycythemia vera, primary myelofibrosis. And secondary causes, what we have to rule out every time when we diagnose the essential thrombocythemia, that is infection, malignancy, post-hemorrhage, post-splenectomy, inflammatory. This is post-surgery. Then following exercise, parturition, iron deficiency anemia, hereditary thrombocythemia. But all this case, CRP will be high, fibrinogen will be high, interleukin 6 will be high in reactive thrombocytosis. So here we have read the chapter of essential thrombocythemia.